As we speak, some startup is raising a fat round to sell you a feature you can already grab for $0, and I will show you exactly where it is hiding. 12 open source tools, so good and so completely free that just knowing about them almost feels illegal. Learn these, and you can cancel half the subscriptions on your bill this month. Here is how the trick works. A document parser over here, a vector database over there, model hosting, a monitoring suite, a scraping service. Add up the paid versions, and you are staring at a few $1,000s a month every single month. But every one of them has a free open source twin, and honestly, the twin is usually just better. And these are not random downloads. Together, they are the whole modern stack. Read your documents and the web, chunk and store them, run the models, shape the output, and watch the whole thing in production. Every single layer, open source and free. Let us count them down from number 10. Number 10, Chonkie. Before any model can answer questions about your documents, it first has to break them into bite-sized pieces. That is chunking. Almost nobody thinks about it until the app starts handing back confidently wrong answers. Chonky nails that one boring job. Hand it a wall of text and it splits it by sentence, by paragraph, by real meaning, even by code. One line and your messy document is clean and ready to embed. It quietly fixes the biggest reason retrieval hand you garbage. Number 9, marker. Something like 2/3 of the useful information on Earth is locked inside PDFs. Contracts, research papers, scanned manuals. Copy paste turns them into scrambled junk. Marker turns them into clean markdown. Point it at a PDF, a slide deck, even a photo of a page. The tables stay tables. The math stays math. The reading order survives. It runs entirely on your own machine. And in blind tests, people rank it above the paid cloud parsers. Number 8, Langfuse. The second your app hits real users, one question starts to haunt you. What is it actually doing in there? Why was that answer weird? Why did the bill triple overnight? Langfuse gives you eyes inside the black box. Every call, the exact prompt, the response, the latency, the tokens, and exactly what it cost. You replay a bad answer and see precisely where it went off the rails. 30,000 stars, fully self-hostable, so your data never leaves your servers. Number 7, Qdrant. Once your text becomes vectors, long lists of numbers that capture meaning, you need somewhere to store them and search by similarity in milliseconds. That is a vector database, and Qdrant is one of the very best. Ask it for the 10 closest matches to a question, and it finds them instantly, even across millions of vectors. It is written in Rust, so it stays blazing fast, under load, and runs in a single container on your laptop. Number 6, Ollama. This is the one that made running a full large model on your own machine feel completely normal. No API keys, no cloud, no meter ticking. You type 3 words, Ollama run, and the model name, and seconds later you are chatting with a serious model, fully offline on hardware you own. Llama, Mistral, Qwen, Gemma, one command each. It exposes a local API that speaks the same language as the big providers, so most apps just point at it and work. Number 5, DSPy, out of Stanford. Today, everyone is hand tweaking magic prompt words. Please, I will tip you, take a deep breath, hoping the model behaves. DSP calls that a dead end and swaps it for actual programming. Instead of a fragile paragraph of instructions, you simply declare what goes in and what should come out. Then DSPy optimizers write and tune the prompt for you, testing variation after variation until the scores climb. Swap the model and you rewrite nothing. You recompile and it reoptimizes itself. Number 4, Crawl for AI. This hands the entire internet to your model for free. At one point, it was the single most trending repo on all of GitHub. Give it a URL, it loads the page in a real browser, JavaScript and all, strips the ads and the clutter, and hands back clean markdown a model can actually read. It runs fully async, so it crawls hundreds of pages at once. Commercial scrapers bill you by the 1,000 pages. This does it on your machine for nothing. Number 3, outlines. Models love to ramble, but your code needs clean, structured data. The same JSON shape every single time with no stray commentary tacked on the end. Outlines guarantees it. You hand it a schema, a pydantic model, or even a regular expression, and it constrains the model as it generates token by token, so the output physically cannot break the shape you ask for. Valid JSON is not likely, it is guaranteed. It steers the decoding itself right on top of your local models. Number 2, LiteLLM. Wire your app to one provider's API and you are quietly locked in. LiteLLM blows that lock wide open, one single format to call over 100 different models. Want to swap one model for another or fall back to a cheap local one when the bill gets scary? You change one string and the rest of your code never notices. 53,000 stars, you are never locked to a single vendor again. And if you would rather not run the gateway yourself, that is exactly what ApexAPI is. One key, 100 plus models, cost tracking baked in. And number 1, Instructor, I would keep this one over all the rest. It fixes the exact thing that makes building real software on models so painful. You define the data you want as a plain Python class, and Instructor hands you back a fully typed validated object, not a blob of text you pray parses at 2 in the morning. And here is the magic: when the model slips up, Instructor catches the error, feeds the mistake back, and asks the model to fix itself until the data comes out clean. Flaky output becomes software you can trust. 2 bonus tools I added myself. Bonus 1, vLLM, Ollama is perfect for running a model just for you. But what happens when you have to serve it to thousands of users at once without melting your GPU? That is vLLM, born at Berkeley, now the industry default serving engine. Its secret is a trick called paged attention. It manages model memory the way an operating system manages RAM, wasting almost none. The result is up to 24 times the throughput out of the very same graphics card. Bonus 2, Ragas. So you have built the thing and it gives you an answer. Here is the genuinely scary question. Is that answer correct? Or is it just confidently making things up? Ragas swaps gut feeling for real numbers. It scores your system on the things you cannot eyeball at scale. Is the answer faithful to the source? Is it actually relevant? Did retrieval even pull back the right context? It uses models as the judges, so you barely need hand-labeled data, and it can spin up a whole test set straight from your own documents. So there is the entire stack in one picture. Marker and crawl for AI to read, Chonkie to chunk, Qdrant to store, Ollama and vLLM to run, DSPy, outlines, Instructor, and LiteLLM to build and control it, Langfuse and Ragas to actually trust it. 12 tools, every layer, all free. Companies bolt these exact projects together and charge you thousands a month for the result. Now, you know they are just sitting on GitHub, waiting. If this saved you a subscription or two, here is the shortcut for that whole gateway layer. ApexAPI gives you one key over 120 models and cost tracking built right in. Start free at apexapi.dev. Once you have seen these, you honestly cannot unsee them. The barrier was never money. It was only ever knowing which names to type into that search bar. See you in the next one.